And what do you seek to achieve through this wonderful event that you're having?
So you're right. You hear this. It's sort of become almost a term that is very cliche.
Cliche.
And I am out to combat that cliche-ishness.
Yes. Yes.
If that's a thing. Women, especially African American women, we have a lot of things that we're fighting against.
Yeah.
Right? We're fighting against social norms that may not be as fair as they should be. We're
Right.
fighting against just society in general, single mothers trying to make it, trying to establish our voices in the workplace that have been silenced
Yeah.
for so long. And then there's the spiritual aspect and really finding our place in the kingdom and knowing that we have been designed to be advantageous, right? Women have the power to receive and give birth.
Yes.
That means that we are
Thank you.
a threat in this thing, right?
Yeah.
We are a source and a power to be reckoned with when we recognize our worth.
Right.
And when we know who we are and whose we are.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you're on the right show for what you just said, because that is one of the things that we talk about all the time. And, obviously with everything going on in society now and what a woman is being challenged, and we're going to go down that road. But I'm so glad that you kind of are coming from that place, because in particular, I want to ask you your thoughts on this, because there is, conversations and debates. I've been part of them, and I've also been observing them, in which women are trying to figure out, and in particular African American women, are really trying to figure out where they fit in. Because in one sense, if we're going to get into the demographic of it all, African American community, one of the things that I think is probably the biggest of our problems is the fact that our family unit is just gotten unstable.
That's it.
It is.
That's
and I believe, because I've had a mother and a strong mom, a grandmother, and things like that, that a woman is absolutely integral to that. A man is too. I think they both have their roles, and I think that they need to be talked about and need to be celebrated. So when you kind of sit back, and so there's a conversation that's been having about women and how they support their husbands and what the role is in the family. And so I want to ask you, as somebody who is going to address this, because I think you can be a strong woman. I think you can achieve your abilities, your desires, but I also think you can be a good wife and a good mother.
Listen to me.
Yes.
And that's part of my message too for women, that it is okay to still be a lady.
Yes.
It is okay
Yes.
to still be feminine. It is okay to still learn the art of being a lady.
Right.
Right? But you don't have to sacrifice your strength.
Yeah.
You don't have to sacrifice your voice. You don't have to sacrifice your power in doing that. And that's what I want to get to our women of today, especially our younger women,
Yes.
our middle-aged women, those women who have had to fight for everything.
Right.
There is a safe space in Graced and Gorgeous where you can come and be vulnerable and get poured into and get fed into, so that we can strengthen that softer side of you, right? I strictly believe that the Bible is our roadmap
Yes.
to how we live
Yeah.
and how we achieve. And when we look at women like Esther,
Yeah.
right, who basically stopped a genocide from happening, but she did it with her feminine ways.
Yes.
Right? She didn't have to go into battle or any of that.
Right.
She learned how to whisper into the ear of her husband. Do you hear me?
Yes.
And
yes.
so that is where we as women, we still have to tap into that and know our value, right?
Right.
Because that is how God established us in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
That's why we were taken from the side under his heart.
Right.
Right?
Yes. I mean, you got me, you can tell I'm wide-eyed, and I'm just like, I'm sitting at your feet, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. But once again, we're going to get into some more of this. But first of all, we want to say that we're talking with this wonderful pastor, Miss Staci Bennett. What's your church?
Fresh Oil Ministry is located at 3601 Pennsylvania Avenue in East Chicago, Indiana.
Nice, nice. Now, give me a little bit of background. How did you get into, I mean, did you know this is exactly what you wanted to do? Where did you grow up?
Absolutely
And give me a little background on yourself.
Yeah, I grew up here in Gary. I am
Okay.
a product of Gary, Indiana.
Then you
born
know
and
where I got to
raised.
ask, where'd you go to high school?
See, Now listen.
When you answer like that, I know it's the wrong.
See,
No, go ahead.
that's real petty right there. I did not go to any of the top 4.
Okay.
Let me say that.
Oh, wait a minute. There are 4 top ones. I just know about one. It's called Roosevelt.
No. Because I'm from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I have it's an equal playing field for me.
Yeah.
I graduated from Calumet.
Oh my God.
Don't come for the Warriors.
Oh,
Do not come for the Warriors. It is okay.
So you graduated from Calumet, and then what did you do after that?
I graduated from the University of Iowa with my bachelor's degree in elementary education.
Yeah.
And I began working in the school city of Hammond.
So you you just passed a fellow Iowa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Coach
A Hawkeye?
Yeah. Coach was a football stud there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I graduated from Iowa. I began my teaching career in the school city of Hammond. I was assistant principal at Morton High School.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you. You look like a baby.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, there you go.
I was assistant principal at Morton High School. Then I went on to get my administrator certification through and my superintendent's endorsement from Indiana State University.
Yeah.
I was a principal in Chicago Public Schools for 4 years.
Oh, God bless you.
Yes, I made it out. Let me just say that. And then I came back to School City of Hammond to be the executive director of elementary curriculum and instruction. So I oversaw all 14 of the elementary schools.
Yeah.
And now I am currently a superintendent with the charter school organization. So I manage 6 schools in 3 states, Ohio, Indiana, and Wisconsin.
Absolutely. You still got time to minister.
Oh, Jesus.
Literally.
Yes.
But you know what? That is very, very impressive. I don't know what it is. My wife went to school in Iowa. She went to Northern Iowa, though. But I run into so many people that go to school in Iowa.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk? And as I said, obviously you got an education, you did great things there, and now you're out here kind of talking about the word and really kind of trying to get young women and women in general to really feel their power and their strength. And I definitely appreciate that. We're going to get a phone, well, I thought we had a phone call, 219-962-9483, 219-962-9483. Give us the logistics. When is this event and where is it going to be?
It's actually a weekend event. It's all weekend. We will have a church service beginning Friday night at my church at 3601 Pennsylvania Avenue. Pastor Marguerite Blitch from Aurora, Illinois will be our guest speaker. And that starts at 7.
Yeah.
And then the actual conference, Graced and Gorgeous, is going to be September 17th at the Dean and Barbara White Community Center in Maryville. It's going to go from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. If you're interested in registration, this is the last week to register, so all you need to do is go to Eventbrite and search Graced and Gorgeous, and all the information will come up. And I'm also looking for vendors, too. So if you're interested in being a vendor, you can reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find our church on Facebook. You can reach out to C. Witt, and she's the reason why I'm here. Yeah. And then we will have 2 Sunday services on September 18th, 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Now let me ask you a couple of things. At first, give us a little bit, without, obviously, you can go to the website and definitely find out more information, but you say from 8 to 3. So what does a conference like that look like? Are you getting into working groups? Is that you can tell I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I've peeked in those conferences before.
I see.
Yeah.
So yes, it is an all-day event, and we actually have 3 tracks for women to choose from. So there will be 3 sessions, and each session has 3 courses that a woman can choose to be a part of. Right. So the tracks are separated by personal, professional, and spiritual. Yes. And the personal talks, a woman can choose to go to a session about being a wife. Right. Go to a session about learning how to stay strong in the single season. Yes. Or just learning about themselves and how they fit into God's plan. Right. The professional track talks about leadership. Talks about how to be a good leader, how to be a good number 2, because everybody's not designed to be number 1. There you go. So you have to learn how to be a good number 2. Then we have a session on entrepreneurship, and then I knew that was in there. Yes, yes. And then the last session is the spiritual track. So and all of the titles are graced to do something.
Yes.
So grace to be a leader, grace to be an entrepreneur, God's grace and his girl,
Yeah.
Grace to be a worshiper, grace to pray it through. Everything has to do with grace.
No, absolutely. We're talking about Pastor Staci Bennett, Miss Staci Bennett. I want to ask you lastly, because, you know, number one, you are very much an achiever. Just by sitting here talking to you, I mean, the way you move, your accomplishments, what you're doing even now with this wonderful event, I just think you're not only a role model for women, but a role model for people in general. I mean, you're a good person. But I want to ask you about, you know, being a pastor in what a lot of people consider still to be a male-dominated field. We do see more female evangelists pop up. Obviously, you've got some very big names, Joyce Meyer, and I can just go down the list. You see them out there, but when you kind of think of the structure, it seems very male-oriented. And so, as somebody who is really committed to this, and I can kind of feel it from you that you're in it. You know what you're talking about. You believe what you're talking. You're very much a believer. How has it been for you to kind of move throughout the evangelistic community? Was it, is there always sometimes when you kind of have to come up against a little bit of a pushback or an obstacle simply because of your gender?
That is an excellent question. So you asked me how I get into this. My husband actually was the founder of our church.
Okay.
And he passed away last September.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And by that time, I was executive pastor. And so after he passed away, I assumed the role of pastoring the church.
It was naturally yours.
Yeah, I was graced for it,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And so moving into that role, I've been really blessed not to have to really come against any obstacles.
Yeah.
But because my husband was the founder of our church and we are non-denominational, I'm not really constricted in any area.
Yes.
So I'm able to move pretty freely according to how the Spirit moves.
Right.
And we don't have a traditional ministry, right? We are very, come as you are. It's all about the Word.
Right.
Right. The main focus of our ministry is the Word. We don't do a lot of sometimes you can be in church from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and
Absolutely.
the last thing you hear is the Word.
Yeah.
Well, we go from praise and worship straight to the Word because that's what we need to
Right,
survive.
not about the clothes,
No,
not about all of that.
none
other
of
stuff.
that,
Yeah.
none of that. And so I really have been blessed, and I have a couple of great support systems.
Yeah.
People who really believe in our ministry, and pastors, other male pastors who really support the vision that God has given us. And so really it's just picking up my husband's mantle where he left off and taking it to the next dimension.
You know what? I love that perspective that you just put it in because, you would assume, and it happens, is that obviously your husband who started the church, he was probably the lead pastor, and
Yes.
you're building that congregation, and all of a sudden something happens to him. Here comes his wife. And then a lot of people might be like, yeah, I get it, but I can't really go down this road. But it does seem that you have been very well received by your loyal and supportive congregation.
Yes, I'm so blessed. Hey, Fresh Oil, what's up? I am so blessed. I have the best membership ever. And I did think about that initially. Well, they have been following this man for 20 years.
Yeah.
Are they going to follow? We have never missed a beat, and we've actually been growing and just doing some amazing things. So I am blessed, and I am not here by myself. I have a whole village behind me.
Absolutely. You know what? First of all, I want to thank you. It has been a pleasure.
It's
been a pleasure to sit here and talk to you. I'm looking forward to you coming back on. We're going to talk about some other stuff because I can go on and on with somebody like you. Once again, give us the logistics and the details and how people can get tickets before you get out of here.
Sure. All you need to do is go to eventbrite.com and click on the magnifying glass and search Graced and Gorgeous 2022. This is the last week to register, so if you're interested, please come out. If you have any questions, if you want to be a vendor, you can reach out to me via Facebook. It's Staci Bennett, and my church is Fresh Oil Ministries. I look forward to seeing you. Come on out. Let us pour into you. Let us be the midwives to your destiny, to your next dimension.
All right, before you get out of here, I think we might have a phone call. Caller, how you doing? You're on Wake Up GI with Jeffrey Smith. Put your... Well, I'm giving her an opportunity to put the headphones on real quick. She's got them on. Go ahead. okay, you just missed him. I apologize for that. Yeah, yeah, he was just on. I apologize. Yeah, he just left actually, and then Miss Bennett came on for the next segment. Thank you very much. Yeah, I apologize for that.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem.
But yeah, once again, though, I want you to. We're going to regularly try to get you on. I want to talk to you about just a variety of things.
Absolutely, I
because
would love it.
even some ideas and things about education, because you're very learned in that area, and we always
I
talk.
have a school in Gary, and my school in Gary is doing really well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Really well.
All right, we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Before you do, though, give us the logistics of your church. Tell us the hours for people who would be interested in coming and worshiping with you.
Sure. Fresh Oil Ministries, again, is located in the Harbor in East Chicago, 3601 Pennsylvania Avenue. Our morning worship, our Sunday morning worship starts at 11 a.m., but you are also welcome to join us for our Kingdom Church, which is our Sunday school, and that starts at 9:45.
Nice, nice. All right, well, once again, Staci, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a break. Coming up in just a bit.